Hi, for this making of video for the film that has yet to be titled, because every idea I have for the title right now is bad. Hopefully, I will figure that out later. I am trying a new video format. Let me know if this format works for you. So a while ago, I had watched this film called Angel's Egg. It's an old anime film. I don't remember what I thought of the story or whatnot, but what stayed with me was the aesthetic. Whatever was going on in that film, because it probably just went over my head, the aesthetic was a banger. When I set out to write the script, I had in mind this really cool, eerie, aesthetic environment that I had seen, and this premise of the egg. The style is gonna evolve as I go, and kind of testing out this new stylistic approach, which should, make things more efficient. And then I did the recordings. The one part, the egg, or the creature, or whatever it is, that was fun. I may not be a great voice actor. I am not a great voice actor, but that was a fun part. I'm hoping that in the sound mix later in post-production, I can mess around and make the voices all sound different, because it is all me. I do look forward to the day I can get somebody who knows what they're doing working on the voices with me. Oh no, I'm very excited about this project. It feels good getting back into my thing as my senior project wraps up. See you after production. Yeah, so I wasn't as ready as I thought I was to get back into animation production. So rough animation took longer than expected just because I wasn't actually working on it. But I decided not to stress myself too much about the timeline on this film and just go with the flow. It'll get done when it gets done. But I'm also using this project to assess what a more realistic time frame might look like for me. And to do that, I'm tracking my hours that I spend on production. Hopefully that will give me a better idea of how long it takes me to do things, and I won't have to keep relearning the same lessons, from Sacrifice and whatnot. But yeah, the rough animation is looking good, and I am excited and daunted to move on to cleanup. The cleanup process for this film was the first animated test of a new style that I'm troubleshooting. My hope was that this style would look nice, but be quick and easy to execute. For the most part, this style was a success. It didn't take too much longer than it took me to do the rough animation to finish the gray cut. But this process also has me confronting my natural drawing tendencies. My drawings tend to be a little wonky. Neither my patience nor my sore hand lend themselves to consistent, high-quality draftsmanship. And I see the value in practicing high-quality drawing, but I'm not sure that these animations are the place to practice that. Because my goal is really just to tell good stories, and relieving myself of the pressure to quell that natural wonkiness will free me to focus more on the storytelling that I actually care about. I should embrace the wonk. So yeah, the style test was a success, and I'm excited to see how it develops in future projects. So I just finished coloring the film. The good thing I can say is that it took me just under an hour to do, which is crazy. My apprehensions is that I'm not really sure I like how it looks. Things just kind of look muddy, and there are some colors that seem to clash. But instead of coloring the animations frame by frame, I used color grading sliders in the compositing app that I use. It's definitely way more efficient than my typical approach, but I will have to get used to thinking of colors in a different way to get the results that I want. But it's just another skill that I'll have to practice. So, after coloring, the last step was to add sound effects. Right now I'm on spring break and I'm home, so I don't really have a quiet spot to record. So I heavily relied on freesound.org, which worked out fine. But sounds is always the part of production that I'm least confident in. But I feel like I'm gaining a little bit of confidence. The tone of this film is right where I want it to be. Now, even after all this, being done with the film, I still hadn't settled on a title. I had to do a whole brainstorm to come up with something that I could put on the title card so I could be done. The title I came up with is a little bit cheesy and a little derivative, but the film has a name, and that's what's important. All in all, I'm happy with this film. I mean, it was a good reintroduction to the personal projects after my hiatus, and I'm satisfied with how the new art style performed. And, most importantly, I had fun. Also, timing myself was very helpful. This film took me about 22 hours of focused work, and knowing that will help me make more realistic goals for my next film. I can't wait.